Okay, I am officially confused. So, are you telling me that Tamra and Heather both sat on the fact that John Jansen told them with his own lips that he did indeed hear that car crash? They sat on that for months and decided not to tell Shannon? And then they go to the reunion and both of them decide not to mention it or forget to mention it? Even though Tamra's saying that they were both so stressed about what to do with this information. What? So just after part 3 of the OC reunion, the one where Jesus Jugs and Johnny J got eviscerated for their poor performance, and I mean just after, I'm talking 36 hours later. A day and a half after they finished filming the reunion, the girls reconvene in some kind of SOS style meeting over at Emily's house, where Heather says to the group, "We went out to dinner after filming the finale. Me, Terry, Tamra, Eddie, Alexis, and John. And we're sitting there talking, and suddenly something about the night of the accident came up. And John said, 'Oh, I heard the crash.' And Tamra and I both went, 'What the fuck? What are you talking about?' And at this point, Shannon is looking shook. And then Heather goes, 'Should I not have told you?' And Gina goes, 'No, you did the right thing.' And I'm thinking, yeah, you did the right thing today, but every other day up until this day, you were doing the wrong thing every single day. And then Tamra gets there and she joins the conversation and says, 'Yeah, John told us that he heard the crash and that he went to go run for you, but that his daughter stopped him and said, "No, Dad, that's not a good idea because you guys have been fighting. I'm gonna go look." And she went around the corner and said, "You were pulling off," and our mouths dropped. Then Heather grabs the proverbial mic and says, "He said it wasn't a good night, that you guys said things to each other and did things to one another." Then Tamra says, "He says there was an altercation between you and him." And then Tamra reaches over and whispers into Shannon's ear for the entire world to hear, "He says that you hit him." And Shannon tears up and says, "Yeah, I've heard that. He said I punched him, but I don't remember everything. I don't know what I did that night. Everyone says that I punched him," and she's crying. And then Emily, like the hero she is, says, "So if you found this out at dinner like 4 or 5 months ago, didn't you feel in that moment, even if you weren't getting along with Shannon at the time, didn't you feel like you should tell her?" And Tamra goes, "I didn't think about it." And Heather goes, "It was a lot to process at the time." And then Tamra goes, "And I didn't think about it at the actual reunion." But in the next breath goes on to say, "Me and Heather would have so many conversations, and Heather would say, what are we gonna do with this situation? Because I think Shannon should know." So for months, these two were talking about it and stressing about it and thinking Shannon should know. And then the reunion happens, but Mom is still the word. And Shannon still doesn't know the truth and even references at the reunion that she'll never really know the truth about whether or not John heard. Shannon actually said that at the reunion, and those two just sat there and said nothing. All the while those two are sitting on the answer. And then all of a sudden, this emergency pickup scene is being shot less than 2 days after the reunion where nothing about this was said. I mean, I want to know what happened. What happened in that window of time? Because they both had ample opportunity to bring it up at the reunion. And if they'd been having so many conversations about it, then why didn't they drop it at the reunion? I think it would have been big, especially if they'd done it when Alexis was on stage. I personally don't have any answers, but if I were to guess, I think it was Bravo that was behind this because they want to make a clean break from Jesus Jugs and Johnny J. And I think they wanted to get this info about him out. And I think that is what elicited that crazy post from Alexis. The one she just made about them getting a bad edit and the fact that she has all of these receipts and she's going to be bringing them forth next week. But sorry, Alexis, you can bring all the receipts you want, but the truth will still be the same. You screwed yourself, sweetie. The question is still, why didn't they drop that bomb at the reunion? Make it make sense. Comment below and let me know your thoughts.